Hello everyone, welcome to class. Today we have a very special flow and meditation and journaling. Make sure you have some blocks, you might find them useful, but otherwise go ahead and come to sit on your mat, legs crossed, eyes closed. Today's class is in honor of the winter solstice, which winter has a tendency to get a bit of a bad rap. This is the time of the year when things die, when it's dark and cold and everything seems to pause. This is also the time of year when we have some of our most bright and joyful celebrations, such as Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, Yule. So today we are celebrating the winter solstice, when this is the darkest day of the year. This is also the period where the sun starts to slowly creep back into the sky more and more. We can only go up from here, but in winter, everything else is resting. Bears are hibernating, plants have been cut back, and things are percolating underground, underneath snow. And that's what we're going to aim to do here. Go ahead and inhale the arms down, around, and up overhead. And exhale into a side bend to the right. So right hand comes down to the mat. Open up your ribs. Beautiful. Take another deep inhale. Exhale it out. Inhale back up to center. And exhale to the left. Left hand on the mat, pressing into the mat, reaching up to the sky with the right arm. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, we're going to twist. Left arm comes to the right knee, twist to the right. This is a pretty slow flow, so really let yourself rest in each pose and relax. This is about rest, which is what winter is about as well. Inhale back to center. And exhale, right hand comes to the left knee for our twist to the left. Winter is the season where we can see the most clearly that we have seasons, that we live in a world of cycles. Winter encourages us to rest. Inhale back to center, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Then bring your hands to your knees, and we're going to just start making big circles with our torso. So these are our Sufi grinds. This is one of my favorite movements. We're really working deep into the hips. We're using our core, we're using our glutes to stabilize ourselves. Keep your sits bones on the mat, but just work these circles with your shoulders and your hips. They could be as small or as big as you want them to be. No right or wrong here. Keep going. We'll do a few more, and then of course we'll switch directions in just a moment. Beautiful. Take another deep breath in. Come back to straight, and I like to switch the cross of my legs and then switch my direction of rotating. Oftentimes I find that's a little gentler on my knees. But if you don't have that problem, then go ahead and not switch your feet, whatever is comfortable for you. Winter is a time to look back at the year that has gone by, to dream about the year that is to come, and to let go. Winter is about death. And letting go and transformation are two very important things we'll work with. Beautiful. Do one more round, come back to center. And then we're just going to come over into our tabletop pose. So Hips over knees, shoulders over wrists. Firm up your core here. Take a deep breath in, keeping your spine nice and straight, spreading your fingers wide on the mat. And then inhale, broaden across the chest, and exhale, scooping the spine up to the sky for our cat-cow pose. Just do several repetitions of cat-cow, matching your own breath, your own rhythm. Learning to trust your own innate rhythms is just as important as learning to live with the rhythms of the earth and the moon. The more we learn the outside rhythms, the more we can understand our internal rhythms. Beautiful. Do just a few more cat-cows. Inhaling, exhaling. And inhale back to a straight spine. We're just going to bring our left foot in between our hands to come up into our low lunge. And you can rest your hands on your thigh or on your hips, whatever's comfortable. Make sure your knee is directly over your foot, over your ankle. And just relax here. Take a few deep breaths. Find your drishti point. This next bit is where you might want your blocks on either side of your feet. We're going to bring our hands to the mat or blocks. Press ourselves back into half splits. So straightening that front leg, pressing our hips back, and then folding forward over our left leg. Beautiful. Continuing to breathe into the stretch here. Take another deep breath in and come back into your low lunge. And this time we're going to plant our right hand on the mat and open our left arm up to the sky for our twisted low lunge. And you can look up to the sky or down at the mat, whichever is more comfortable for your neck. Really aim for comfort and ease in the poses we work through today. I don't want you to push yourself too hard. I'm going to harp at this whole class, but winter is about rest. It's about ease and taking care of yourself. Doing what you need to do to rest and recuperate. Exhale the left hand down to the mat. Bring your left knee back to meet the right. Do a few wiggles, maybe do a cat-cow or two to release any tension. Maybe see if your left leg or left hip feels different from your right leg or right hip. Just a few more movements here, a few more cat-cows. Very nice. And we'll bring our right foot in between our hands, coming up into our low lunge on the right side. Same thing here, right knee directly over the right ankle. And again, you can relax your hands on your thighs or by your hips, whatever is most comfortable. Relax your shoulders down and back. Really, again, find ease in this pose. Take another deep breath in. Exhale it out. On your next exhale, we'll plant the hands on the mat and press our hips back, straightening our right leg for half splits. And relax over that leg. And when you're ready, inhale back to low lunge, plant the left hand, and open up your right arm up to the sky. There are quite a few people who can experience the winter blues. The sun's not out, it's cold, we don't feel as held or as carried as we maybe do in summer or spring. Go ahead and exhale, plant your right hand on the mat. And bring your right knee back to meet your left and do a few more cat-cows here. Or hip circles or barrel rolls, whatever feels good. Come back to center. We're going to bring our left foot to the front of our mat, to kind of the outer edge of the mat. We're coming into lizard pose, so you want your knee to be a bit wide. Make sure your foot is at an angle. You can keep your back knee relaxed down, or you can curl your toes under and lift your knee up. But again, this is supposed to be rest, so maybe relax your knee down to the mat. You can keep pressing up on your hands. You can come down to your forearms. Some really lovely ways to combat the winter blues are yoga, of course. But this idea of bringing in light because we don't have as much light. So candles, fires, enjoying a cup of tea, something warm. Maybe that's why we drink so much cocoa and mulled wine and eggnog at this time of year. It's to remind us that warmth is coming and does exist out in the world, because eventually the sun will come back, even though winter feels long. Continuing to breathe in your lizard pose. And if you're on your elbows, go ahead and come up to your hands. We're gonna reach our go ahead and walk your foot in. We're gonna reach our left arm back, bend the right knee and grab your right foot, pulling your foot into your bum. Opening up the chest, and then also pulling that foot in. We're getting a really deep stretch in the pelvic floor here. Beautiful. Release it with control. Step the left knee back. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So right foot to the front of the mat. Add a nice toes off the mat, heels on the mat. And come into lizard pose, lowering down onto your forearms if that's comfortable for you. Winter encourages us to change and to grow, and also to release, which lizard pose is a beautiful pose for releasing any pent-up emotions or unprocessed feelings. Take another deep breath in, and go ahead and press yourself back up onto your hands, and we'll come into that quad stretch. So walk your right foot in just a little bit. We'll bend that left knee and reach back for it with our right hand. And you have a little bit of dynamic opposition going here. You're pressing your foot into your hand, but your hand is pulling your foot to your bum. So you're stretching your quad, and you're also opening up your chest quite a bit in this pose. Take another deep breath in. And exhale, release the foot, lower it back down with lots of control, and come back into tabletop. Go ahead and curl your back toes under and press yourself up into downward dog. Very nice. Walk it out a little bit, bend your knees as much as you need. And then when you're ready, go ahead and walk, step, or hop to the front of your mat to come into your forward fold. Keeping your chin tucked into your chest. And just relax here. Staying in your forward fold, we're just going to step back with our left foot swiveling so our feet are parallel to the short edges of the mat to come into our wide-legged forward fold. And you can relax your hands on the mat, you can clasp opposite elbows, or if you want, you can grab your big toes or your ankles, whatever is most comfortable for your arms. Go ahead and bend a little bit into the left knee, and then the right knee. And then we're going to bend all the way into the left knee to come into Skandasana pose. Deep lunge, deep pelvic floor, groin stretch. Inhale back up to center. Walk your hands over for Skandasana on the right side. Beautiful. And come back to center. Heel toe the feet so they're about hip width apart, and we're going to sink down into our Malasana squat. So hands at heart center, elbows pressing into your inner thighs, into your calves. Take a breath in. And we're going to come into our bounded our bounded squat. So reach your right arm around your thigh and your left arm around your back to bind. And you don't have to do the binds here if you don't want to. You can just stay in Malasana. We won't be here for very long. Exhale, release the bind and come to the other side. So left arm wraps around the thigh, right arm wraps around your back. Really pressing into all four corners of your feet, lifting up out of your hips. Even though this is a deep hip stretch, we don't want to sink into our hips. Beautiful. Take another deep breath in. Exhale it out. Come back to center, and then we're just going to plop our bums down. Bring the soles of our feet together, and we're going to come into butterfly pose. Go ahead and grab your journal if it's near you. We're going to do a little bit of journaling work. If you want a block to rest your journal on, feel free to. You also don't have to journal. If you don't have your journal today, just fold forward into your butterfly pose and reflect on this question. How can I intentionally rest this season? How can I go easier on myself this season? Maybe not the most fun question to reflect on because of our go, go, go society, but take a few moments, even if it's just a weekly bath or letting yourself have a meditation when you get to work before you walk into the building. Whatever it is, find a few small things you can add in to give yourself little pieces of rest throughout the day for this winter season. Go ahead and begin to finish your thought. You can set your journal aside, set your pen aside. If you were in forward fold, you can set the block aside and gently bring your knees together. We'll do a little windshield wiper with the legs. Release any tension in the low back. And then we'll just swing our legs around and come to lie down on our backs. Let your legs fall open as wide as the mat. You can bring one hand to your chest, one hand to your belly, and close your eyes. And let yourself rest here in shavasana. Shavasana is the perfect symbolic pose for winter. We are resting, we are digesting. Our body is still doing work. It's still processing the flow we just did. It's processing our emotions. It's maybe processing the banana we had before we started yoga today. But you can still rest while your body does those things. So just enjoy this long shavasana. Begin to deepen your inhales and your exhales. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can stretch your arms up overhead for a full body stretch. And then very gently rock or press yourself up to a seated position, just like we began our practice. Legs crossed and hands resting on your thighs for our final meditation. Begin by taking several deep breaths. Allow those breaths to center you. Follow those breaths and let them help you drop in to your center. Now I want you to imagine that you're in the middle of a great evergreen forest. It's night out, but the sky is clear, and there's snow all along the ground. You walk through the forest a ways, looking at the trees, the snow, maybe the icicles on the branches. And eventually, you lie down on a fluffy and soft space of snow. You're not cold, you're perfectly comfortable, and you feel held and protected here in the snow. You look up through the trees and you can see sparkling stars in the night sky, and the full moon is just above you, lighting the forest. You feel calm. Everything is still. Everything is bright. And allow yourself to just breathe here, in this clearing, in this snow, where you are held and safe. gently release the visualization and come back to your breath, knowing you can take that feeling of calmness and stillness and rest with you into the rest of your day. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out like a sigh. And when you're ready, inhale the arms down, around, and up overhead. Exhaling your hands to heart center. Dip the chin. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you enjoyed this class, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more yoga coming your way. I hope you have a lovely winter season, and I will see you again on the mat very soon.